Hello, everyone. Welcome on back to the Point Park Esports broadcast. My name is Ari Cast here with Killa 10?
Tankzilla.
Tankzilla 10. See, you know, Killa, Zilla, Godzilla, you name it, you're here. We're here. And the whole season is back. We've got it. Rocket League for you today. I've got good news and bad news for those people that have maybe been watching in the past. You know how we had Point Park Gold and Point Park Green? Well, the bad news is there's only one team anymore. But the good side is we still get to watch some good old Rocket League, so I'm happy to see that. I know you're a little bit new. This is your first year at the university, so do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are, just so the viewers can get to know you, maybe your major, your name, and maybe some stuff?
I'm Bryce Flynn. I'm a computer science major here at Point Park, and yeah, I'm just going to be here for the next couple years.
I'll give you another little question. Why'd you join the esports program? What was so exciting for you that you had to get into this?
Well, I've always been a big gamer, and, you know, I've always liked watching games, so why not just, you know, get into it and do it, you know?
Works for me. I mean, I've been watching these games for a long time, both here and elsewhere, but it really is just a treat to see what these players can put on. Speaking of which, roster changes. We've had them before, and they're still here. So like we said, instead of 2 teams, we now have 1. And instead of that championship caliber roster that we saw last time, it may still be a championship caliber one, but the faces are changed up a little bit. We still have Safe, we still have Caleb, we still have Ian, but now we also have Tommy joining on that first and I guess only roster here. That'll be Fly. You'll see them maybe later in the series, but I guess from what you've seen and heard before out of reputation, is there any player that you know to look out for?
I would look out for Caleb. I've heard he's pretty good. Okay. I think he's the guy to watch out for this year.
Have you seen him in their practices? Have you noticed his role with them? And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, he seems to be a big leader for them. He seems to know how to hype them up, get them prepared for games. I think he's going to be a huge leader to the team.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I believe it is a best of 5 that we're running today, so that means first to 3 games is going to be our victor. Of course, this is just week 1 in NACE Varsity Plus, so we've got plenty of time until we have some teams locking in the playoffs, but of course, every win is super, super important. You want to get as many as you can on the board, so if you had to go for a prediction, Point Park versus Virginia Wesleyan, a team we don't really have too much information about, if you had to give a guess, out of the blue, what's the score going to be?
I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be a 1-point difference. 3-2 Point Park, I think, will edge out on this.
All right. I think Point Park, I think they look strong in the break as well. They've been practicing. They've been back to practicing ever since the season started, at least the semester. And so, yeah, I do agree that I think they're going to take this one. But we have known that Point Park, they do like to kind of wake up into the season. Sometimes we do get out a little bit slow. Their first and only loss, I believe, last semester, I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but I think it was their first or second game. So keep that in mind. Maybe they are starting a little bit slow, and maybe that does show as these earlier games come through. Now, we've got all that out of the way. We can have a little bit of fun in games. What are you looking forward to today? What's your favorite part of Rocket League that you're excited to see?
I'm interested to see all the scores. I think the thing is going to be the most important part of the game, and it's going to be interesting to see.
I mean, yeah, you know, it's always the strikers that get all the credit. They're always like, you know, the score of somebody that maybe got a crazy pass to them, and then they just knock it in. But let's be real. I'm loving where the assists are at. I'm going to be real. I love those passing plays with the whole team getting involved, you know, off the ceiling, all the way down, ground pinch into the net. I just really love to see it. And that cinematic fashion is what we know from Point Park and what they're capable of doing. It's about, can they display it today? That's what we're waiting to see, and that's what we're also waiting to see with this lobby getting started shortly. We're getting our observer in there very quickly, and I'm excited. I can't wait to see what this team actually looks like. I'm curious as well for your first impression, even maybe in the first minutes as we get into this game, how you feel they're playing just in terms of maybe morale, or if they just look like they know what you're doing. Because obviously you don't have the most Rocket League experience, but you can tell when some things maybe aren't looking the best. So I'm going to look to you for that. I hope you're ready for that.
They seem pretty confident. I think the morale's high, and I think they're going to show it in this game.
Well, we better hope so, at least if you're on the Point Park side for Virginia Wesleyan. We wish you the best of luck, of course. It's no bias as much as we can be here, but I am wearing the Point Park Esports shirt, so you kind of have to have a little bit out there. So For those of you guys that are just tuning in, make sure to stay around for even more content because we do have regular streams like this every single week. We have Rocket League on Tuesdays, Valorant ideally on Fridays, and we actually have 2 Valorant teams this semester, if you guys are curious. So we swapped out a Rocket League, we've gained another Valorant, and that's some extra cool stuff to get excited for. Of course, stick along on the social medias with, you know, the Instagram, the no longer Twitter, just so you know, and the Point Park website, which we're kind of redesigning to make sure that you can stick up to date with all of those standings and what's going on with all things Point Park Esports. Have you seen our website?
I have not yet, but I heard it's a pretty good website. I have to check it out later.
It's cooking. Are you following not only Instagram on Point Park Instagram, but are you following the Twitch?
Yes, I am.
This stream right here?
Yep.
That's as much as I can ask for. You know what? That's a good viewer right there. And maybe we'll invite you up for the cast. Who never knows? Oh, man, I'm scared of waiting. Like, you know, this is where the nerves start to get through of like, okay, are they going to psych themselves out? Because we know they're not playing right now. They're not like practicing anymore. They're waiting in anguish as they load into the lobby. They get everybody in there, and then it's off to the races. If you had to go first game, right? Who's scoring first? Let's start there. Who's scoring first? Is it our team? Is it their team?
I think it might honestly be their team. I think they're going to upset us early, and then we're going to come back and pull it off.
So are you saying like reverse sweep? Because you said 3-2. So
Yeah.
you think they get the first 2 games and we come back?
I think it might just happen.
Okay, I'm here for it. That's a good storyline. I'm gonna have to get that one edited and up to the YouTube as well, which you should subscribe to. But yeah, it's gonna be fun to get that content up and flowing as it is for you guys today as well. And we've just gotten word that we're gonna be heading into the lobby very, very shortly. So thanks to our sponsor at Redbull for keeping this powered on through. But we are getting going. Game 1 about to start. Let's see the transition coming on through, and this kickoff will be in just a few moments. Are you excited?
I am. I'm very excited. I can't wait.
Who's scoring the first goal on our team?
I think it's going to be Caleb.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Caleb's going to pull it off.
I'm gonna go with like Starry or Snoozin'. You know, for those of you that are been hanging around, I think they've just got some things cooked up. I think Caleb's in that first man role where he's just gonna push up early and then kind of rotate around late. But I think Ian's there for that extra oomph that they need to get across the goal line. We'll see. Just a few more minutes before we get on through. We did have some technical difficulties at the university today with the internet connection, so we are just kind of checking on those things, but we should be okay to go shortly, and very gracious of Virginia Wesleyan to give us an extra few minutes to get everything sorted. So apologies to you, the viewers, because we were supposed to get started at 7 instead of 7:30, so that's on us, but we'll have everything relatively consistent as the games go on. Life happens, and so does technology.
Yep, it's just it happens sometimes. I hope it gets better, and we'll make sure we do better.
We were having a talk earlier about AI a little bit, and yeah. I'm not gonna lie, an AI voice yapping over these games. I mean, I could be wrong. Viewers, let me know, but I don't know if an AI voice would really do the same thing justice here for these games.
Yeah, I don't think AI has the capabilities for it.
Not yet. Maybe it will. Who knows? But yeah, just waiting for all of that good stuff to kind of get on started. There you go. You can see the players. And actually, that's not Caleb in the middle seat, right? That is our new player of Tommy joining us through. And yeah, faces a little bit shifted in the chairs, but now the game underway. So let's get this party started. Point Park up first with the possession, and we'll see where this one goes. It looks like actually back towards their own net. Traded demos a little bit towards midfield, but it looks a-okay to start things off. Very solid, but the first game we always say is that feeler game, trying to get an idea of what makes your opponent tick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very close. I think they're going to be filling each other out for a while, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, looking for any sort of advantage here. You have Yeehaw Sauce, by the way. Love that name. Over for Virginia Wesleyan. This one a bit close, though, off the sideboard, and Lasharkus will be there with it. A name stake in their side. You can remember them from before, but instead, nope, just knocked away once more. Safe, gonna be chilling up for the moment, but now a save needs to be made, and it is. Snoozin' a-okay, not asleep at the wheel this time, and will actually make up for what was maybe a silly little blunder earlier, but they're a-okay with that score saying 0-0 right now.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to understand what the other team's got, and then they're gonna pull off more stuff later.
Do you see any clear ways to kind of take advantage of what space they're being given? I know it's kind of tough because all the cars are flying across the field, but do you see a way that maybe they can get things started on the offense?
I see that that Orange is really pushing down the field, which I think Point Park could really use against them.
I mean, easier said than done, but yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it takes, that offensive pressure. You need to get that down early, because if you don't, well, that's going to be a lot of saves you're having to make on your back end with low boost, and it may not be as easy for you, Clash that. Caleb, though, making it look easy with their first save of the season, the game, and potentially, though, might need another. Yes, indeed, gets it done. LeSharkus up for one more. Is this a double off the backboard? No, it's a one-timer, and it goes right on by. How has this ball not been cleared yet? Eventually, it goes on in. LeSharkus will take this one 1-0 Virginia Wesleyan.
Yeah, the first score of the game, it's a tough one, but they pulled it off.
Well, you were right. For better or for worse for Point Park fans, you were right. Virginia Wesleyan did get on top first. And of course, one goal is not the end of the game here, right? We still have plenty of time, still things that are going to happen throughout this game. Maybe a solid comeback here, maybe one a little bit later down the line. But we are just going to be here enjoying the ride here. Although we could not be in the cars, we get to still watch them ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very close game still. They're pushing it down the field right now. We'll see if they can score again.
Yeah, Virginia Wesleyan, though, unfortunately, with that 1-0 lead, might just choose whatever they can do to kind of hold on to this lead. Of course, saves being made nicely by Snoozen, but you're going to need that offense to wake up at some point. They are playing a bit kind of cautious, if you will, because you don't want to make those additional mistakes. You go down by one, that's okay. We can come back from that. Two, okay, a little bit more difficult. So, you know, just kind of containing those dangers. Even if you do drop this game, you'll have kind of room to improve. And there you see kind of a whiff there on the defensive save. Instead, LeSharkus goes up for their second.
Yeah, he's playing really well right now. He's trying to carry his team to a victory right now.
Yeah, safe there. A little bit of a swing and miss strike one, but it's okay. It's not strike three. They're not out of the game just yet. Instead, 2 minutes remaining on the clock here. Snooze in off the backboard. Ooh, almost an ideal double tap. This one's going to be off the backboard once more. And it's just that accuracy that is just lacking from Point Park here. They can't quite find it in the moment when it matters, and that separates a team that's, you know, down 2-1 from 2-0. Now they're having to go for risks because that time is going to get a little bit lower. But hold up, maybe some things can be done here. No, instead Snoozing gets denied. Of course, the rotations come on through, so where is that double? Where is the offensive pressure? It's still there. It's looming. But nobody with their wheels on the ball just quite yet to make that shot come through. Here it is, off the crossbar and down and out. Caleb, nice try, but instead you'll be sent all the way back to your own half.
Yeah, that was really close. I'm really shocked it didn't go in there.
Oh.
And there it is. That's not looking great.
Yeah, I mean, Yeehaw Sauce kind of gets given this one. It's a bit of a 50-50 and the double commit from Point Park. And then Caleb just not quite aware of where it's going to land in relativity to their car. Not sure if it was to the left or on top of them, and they couldn't react fast enough. So, unfortunately, Virginia Wesleyan going up 3. I believe this was the team, if I'm not mistaken. I could very well be. That was the team to beat Point Park last semester. The only one that handed them their loss. So this is their toughest game out of potentially their entire semester that we think of. Going to be very dangerous for them to come back on this team, but they did end up beating them in the grand finals, of course, and, you know, took home the championship eventually, so the revenge is theirs, but this is, for series score's sake, this could be a potential 2-1 lead for Virginia Wesleyan if Point Park don't bring it back.
Yeah, this is really important towards their rivalry. Both teams want to walk out of here with the win.
Virginia Wesleyan comfy with that lead. Oh no, we're shaking off the rust today. That one goes off the crossbar and out. That one should have definitely been a dunk and a solid goal, but instead Point Park remain at 0. Donuts on the board is not ideal here, and there's no police to chase these cars down because they are on fire. They are speeding all around, and Virginia Wesleyan take a 4-0 lead over Point Park in Game 1.
Yeah, it looks like it's about over here. It was not close at all. The Point Park needs to shake it off.
So I hate to jump a little bit too early, but just giving the viewers a heads up, we are going to start changing the voices that you're hearing for each game. This one, we've had
Tankzilla 10.
That's right, Tankzilla 10 on the cast with you, but we're going to get some new faces kind of in with these games so they can get some experience and we can hear them a little bit later down the line. So thank you for our first game. We might see you back a little bit later, but for right now, we're going to say goodbye to you and hopefully the bad luck that you're giving Point Park. Hey, okay, I did say it. I was going to say I didn't say it, but I did say it.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy of you.
It's all right. Well, thank you for coming. We're actually going to have Kigo coming in next. So we'll let them introduce themselves here as we can see kind of the team making their adjustments. So now Kigo with the headset on, we'll get their audio fixed up a little bit shortly as well. And then here is Kigo as we get into game number 2. Would you like to introduce yourself and your gamer tag and maybe what you do here at Point Park?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Kigo. My gamer tag is Underdog2.V. That's a whole backstory, but I'm here for the Point Park Esports down in downtown Pittsburgh, and I'm really excited. I don't really know much about Rocket League, but I think if I sit here and look at the video, I'll figure that out.
Well, you know, it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Do you watch soccer?
Yeah.
Enough, right? We all do. Soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. But either way, good old-fashioned Rocket League for us right in a few moments. Game number 2. Were you watching game 1?
I was.
What was the score?
The score was 0-3.
0-4. They scored in the final second.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I did not notice
right as
that.
we were snagging you from your seat.
I
so
see.
Point Park falls short a little bit at 0-4. If you had to kind of give them a tip, well, I guess it would be to score in the first few seconds of the game, wouldn't it?
That's a good way to go. It's a good way to start this off. It's really nice to see the morale still going strong. They're trying their best to really push themselves back from that previous loss. You know,
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you, what would be the tip that you tell them, you know, going down 4-0? Well, obviously, we have one kind of answer to that, but do you want to kind of add on to that?
But yeah, as I was saying before, I think the big thing here is to really just push forward, even though that first game, it ended up going not exactly how it was meant to be planned. However, it's still just about just do what you can and don't let the past really hit you hard.
Yeah.
Because you want to do what you can. Teamwork's here. You want just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? You got to push past everything. Of course, Virginia Wesleyan, while that's happening, they do manage to get that goal back. But that's a nice gift that we were given, right?
Yes.
Just that little buffer of, okay, we can make a mistake, and then we made our mistake. So now it's time to really get into this game. Both teams are acquainted. Point Park don't have to worry about being shut out anymore. They've got that up there.
Yeah.
And now they can just play ball, hope for the best. And this is a nice little pass, except just a little bit too far forward is that Virginia Wesleyan defender. So there's going to be no offensive challenge coming through. Point Park, though, looking to get that offense right back and going. It's going to be kind of neck and neck with Braided Axe here. This one over to Snoozin, though, tossed to the wayside. Safe will rotate all the way on back and hopefully make a nice defensive stop here. I don't want to curse it, but I'm going to because I know my luck. Instead, Snoozin back to Braided Axe. Double tap potential coming through off the backboard. And then slicing and dicing is that Braided Axe here today. Virginia Wesleyan up 2-1.
Well, if you can see here, it just kind of ended up being the same kind of situation as before. They keep losing the advantage that they keep trying to make up, and then it ends up just going from one thing, domino effect, just ends up getting into the goal there. I think at this point right now they have to just really figure out what they can take advantage of the orange team and really push themselves forward again. Just until they figure that out, it doesn't look too good, but
yeah,
I have faith.
Something we were talking about over in a Valorant practice was about snowballing. And the fact of, you know, you kind of get knocked down and you let that morale kind of sit back and you're not feeling too well and you let them get a few goals in a row here. 3 now for Virginia Wesleyan. And you say, well, hold up. We've had these advantages, like you mentioned, the domino effect. It's really, really important that you kind of hold on and maybe slam your hand into the domino saying, hey, let's not let the same reaction keep on going, right?
Yeah.
So let's get something to go our way. Do you have anything that you're kind of seeing where, obviously, you know, we're saying taking the advantages that they're given, but what's going to give them an extra edge to push it all the way across the line, do you think?
I truly believe, like, the biggest thing here is, like, you have to really focus on managing your boost here. The boost really takes you wherever you need to go, and just, I think what I've noticed is they expel so much boost trying to prevent the ball from like trying to defend it. So by the time that they start pushing it back towards the orange side, they don't have anything to really push back. So
yeah. I mean, recovery as well, right? You know, you go in, you go for your attacking play, you use all your boost there, and then all of a sudden your third man's just jumped by, and where's that first rotation back? There's nobody there, and you can't get back because that boost was taken, whether it be, you know, on the good side of Virginia Wesleyan, good strategy, or if it was just on the downside of Point Park, maybe not remembering to go and grab those things, maybe a lapse in the strategy, but Caleb is at least given an extra breath of hope for Point Park here in this game as they bring it to a 2-goal deficit.
We're getting close. So explain to me, what exactly is the whole, like, where do you get the boost from?
So you see those little yellow dots there on the floor?
Yes.
Each one of those are called, we like to call them pennies. And they give you a 12 boost. If you see in the corners and the center of the map, there's a big thing with that orb above it, that yellow orb. That's a 100 boost pad. And that brings your tank back to full. So that's why it's important when you are the first player on your team going in, maybe making that challenge, that you should rotate kind of on out, get back around, so where you can get behind your team, you get that boost, and then you keep on that offensive pressure.
I see.
That's why it's really, really important that we call rotations out a lot. Because if you're just kind of driving into a wall and not exactly doing anything, it means somebody's going to take advantage of your poor positioning.
Exactly. Okay, that makes sense. All right, I understand. That makes so much sense.
I mean, Point Park, usually they're pretty good at it, and we're seeing some maybe spots as to why they're dropping a few goals here or there, but my thought is, if they clean that up, right, what's the difference between these two teams? It doesn't seem that far.
Yeah, I'm seeing like good technique between the both teams here. Like I'm truly I don't really know exactly what it's called, but just like whenever I see that ball in the air, it's really cool to watch it just get kind of dribbled, I guess is the word. Just dribbled around. That was a good save. But yeah, just like the way it just dribbles, I love watching that. I just love watching it. And then just as we keep mentioning, like if we can figure out how to really manage that boost better. And like rotate. Yeah, they're really playing really well, trying to prevent that ball from getting in. They're really doing it, and I think they're actually starting to push back now, eh?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The defense looks strong, but now we need the flip side of the ball, the offense to keep on going.
Exactly.
Safe has maybe not looked as great as we know that they have been in the past. Just, you know, seeing them being a little bit flat-footed here or there, a few whiffs on the ball, which, you know, is not the end of the day, but it may cause you the end of the day with a 3-0 deficit if that's what you're looking towards of games for Virginia Wesleyan. Of course, this one kind of running out of time here, so Point Park are going to need to make a move. I like Safe going in here on the first play because that allows the rest of the team to go for any sort of plays that they want. Back into the corner once more. You're going to need that offensive pressure, though. Where's the shot? Where are we baiting out that defender? Is there a bump? Something needs to go in the way, and Yeehaw Sauce.
Yes.
Well, I was going to say makes the save, but I guess not. I guess
we
get the gold.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So what was my question going to be? Essentially, what exactly makes the difference here between like offense and defense? Like why really does that matter here?
Well, you know, we talked about the domino effect a little bit earlier, right? And the kind of thought is, okay, if you're pinned in your defensive side the whole time, how are you going to get on the offense?
That's very true.
Right? I mean, it's kind of a simple logistics question there, but at the same time, you know, it's very tough to manage, and Safe just one more time lets the ball drop. Unfortunately, 1-goal deficit this time for Point Park, but they'll still come up short. Again, the same thing is going to be said. We wish you the best of luck. We'll maybe see you later today for another game and another cast, but we're going to get one more new voice in here before maybe we see you back at Point Park and bring this back. Pleasure having you.
Thank you. It was good seeing you.
Heck yeah. I'm going to see you out there, too. All right, for the viewers, we're going to have one more special guest, somebody new that you haven't quite heard, or maybe you have if you watched the Valorant test scrim. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Hello, who are you?
Hello, my name is Devin, also known as Combo. I'm here to cast today for our first proper game of the season. Rocket League versus Virginia Wesleyan. How you doing?
Well, I'm worried.
I am also worried. I was out there working the observer cam the past 2 games. All the gameplay you just saw was through me, and I gotta say, we're
so
creeping up.
Curse.
I hope not.
So I don't need to blame the tank killer.
Not yet, but we got someone new out there. If the curse continues, we'll see how
Maybe
things
you're
go.
all cursed. Maybe it's the freshman curse, guys.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know. That's kind of how it goes for a while. But yeah, I'm super stoked. Hoping we can catch up. We are down 2 at the moment, but that last game we went 3-4. There is still hope yet, and we are starting.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the game not over till it's over.
Exactly, exactly.
Got one more life to work with, and hopefully for Point Park's sake, they can make a run with it, at least give themselves some confidence going into, if not the rest of the series, at least the rest of the season. Virginia Wesleyan, though, strong starts could equal strong ends, or maybe using too much juice early in the tank. We saw them do that last year as they ended up dropping to Point Park, so let's just see how the cards fall this time.
Right, right. It's very possible they may have locked in the past seasons, but we can hold our water.
Ooh.
And a strong first score this match from Safe.
Yeah, Safe has been kind of the question mark for me on today, but, you know, give him an empty net, a nice little trickling ball down center, and he's not missing that one. 1-0 Point Park, and again, that is how Point Park scored first in the second game, right? They got that little extra buffer. Now, they did end up kind of gifting that back very, very shortly after. So it's about holding that on, because we know the Point Park defense is super good. Now just hold on to it for the rest of this game. Of course, that's 4 whole minutes. That's a long
Precisely.
time. Yeah, Virginia Wesleyan, gonna want that one back, but at the same time, I mean, they're looking pretty dang good. They're not too panicky, right? But, you know, get a little bit too complacent, and maybe that does start to spell a few more goals going in the back of your net.
And we've seen Virginia Wesleyan very aggressive this game. It's been hard to keep the ball on their side. So maybe if we can up the offense, they may falter a little bit.
I'll give you a little quiz. How do you up the offense with the same amount of resources you've been given this whole time? There's one thing that I'm looking for them to maybe do and get utilized in this game. Do you know what it is?
I don't know if I do.
I'll give you a big hint. It says boom.
Oh, that exactly.
Yeah, the demos, of course.
And
Ironically, though, it was Virginia Wesleyan's demo that came through, not Point Park's. But hey, it got them off target because they didn't connect with the ball. Instead, they connect with the player, and Caleb secures this one. So Point Park up 2-0. You'll take it how you can get it.
Exactly.
Point Park, what do you think they do to kind of hold on to what they've been doing? Have you noticed anything super, super different, or do you think it's just, you know, them playing their game?
Well, you know, you mentioned Safe earlier. I've noticed that Safe has really sort of upped the ante after the first couple rounds, particularly partway through that last match. You know, he's really sort of been up in his game. I think it's been doing very well for us. And a nice save there from
Starry.
the Stars.
Susan, Starry. Yeah, you know, we had a fun game trying to figure that out. But yeah, that's how their name shows up. Of course, for those of you guys who maybe aren't familiar with last season, all of our players are ranked at around Champ 2 at the moment. Again, I'm not super familiar with the Rocket League rank resets, but that's where they're at right about now. They've been practicing all season, all week long for, let's be honest, they've been doing it year round. And so to see this first series drop 3-0 would kind of be not as validating, I mean, obviously, but not as rewarding as they had kind of expected to see, right? Even getting this one game is going to have proof that, yes, they practice. They can make these changes on the fly. And it's showing right now. Point Park looking pretty strong.
Especially Caleb there, sort of pulling the weight. Although all three have been doing well. Caleb, of course, is our Point Park Rocket League team coach. And of course, he's been doing very well this game.
Captain, lead,
whatever,
everything.
whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, Virginia Wesleyan, though. I mean, looking for a way to get back into this game. Although not the easiest, not necessarily the hardest either, because you're only down 2. Still room to work with, and you can take those risks, even if it means, you maybe end up losing this game. You would do pretty much anything to guarantee you have a shot at that 3-0 sweep, because as soon as Point Park starts getting that momentum in terms of games, then it becomes a bit more tough for them to handle.
But with only a minute and a half left on the clock, not even, things are starting to look a little bit up for Point Park University.
A little close on that touch there. Almost wanted it to go a little bit further, but instead just didn't have enough boost in the tank maybe, or misreading, I don't know, but it looks like this ball is going to float precariously in front of the net. Maybe a chance to go in, but no, cleared out by Caleb, and gratefully so for Point Park, as they kind of just let that ball sit there, burn that time off the clock, because again, as much as you don't want to play not to lose, that's kind of the strategy you go for within that final 45 seconds. You
Right.
can't give up those goals. It's easier to hold on to, a net and maybe let up one than to, go down the field and score two.
Right. Ooh, one
Maybe.
score from Lasharka.
Maybe.
Yeah, all three players on Virginia Wesleyan have been holding their own this past couple games. Lasharka, Seahawks Sauce, and Braided Axe have all had some good scores. But, Point Park is starting to catch up in that regard, like we mentioned. Starting to coordinate more. And hopefully it can be their blessing in this last 30 seconds of this match.
I actually want to see them coordinate even more than what I'm seeing. Like, obviously, we like the rotations. When those are clean, they usually do pretty well. But I want to see those passes.
Exactly.
Right now, Point Park, when they're on offense, aren't exactly baiting out that defender. They kind of just sit there in front of the net, and they end up getting the easy save. That's going to give it a very nice, easy transition for them to go back onto the offensive side, as you're seeing now. But 10 seconds, they need to get that goal on the board. Otherwise, we will not be seeing them for a clean 3-0 sweep. 2 seconds, 1, the ball hanging above the floor. Will it drop? Yes, maybe, no.
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
The Magic 8 Ball says it is indeed so. Point Park, they win their first game of what will need to be 3 to come back in the series.
Exactly. Can we get that winning streak? We can only hope, wait, and see.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so Devin, it's been a pleasure. I know it's kind of a wacky situation we've got going on here, but we're just trying to get all these voices some new reps. We're going to say goodbye to you for this game. Thank you so much for coming. We will unfortunately not see you back because there's only a total of 5 games, but we appreciate your work on the observing. And everyone, make sure to give a W Devin to chat.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I will speak to you all later, hopefully.
And we'll see you back on the broadcast at some point.
Of course, of course.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, we might have actually just a new voice overall. We might just get the crew even greater.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we are just gonna expand the crew one more time. I would assume. We're just here to kind of get the first game jitters on out, and yeah, that looks like that's what we're doing. So hello, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. What do you do at Point Park? And
I am an animation freshman, and I am also running the social media for Esports now.
Okay, so who forced you to cast? No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, I wonder.
Okay, well, it wasn't me, guys. I swear, it wasn't me. But yes, here we go. A little face reveal for you, but
Yes,
you'll
my
be seeing them
purple hair.
all around here. We
Yes.
have plenty of things to go forward, and yeah, I mean, we already got the next game going, so
Yeah.
let's just kind of jump right into
Yeah.
that one. Game number 4.
We
have you been
saved
watching?
that. Yes, I have, and we definitely saved that in that third game there.
Anything you've been noticing over these past 3 games? Maybe differences that happened in our victory compared to our losses?
That's kind of hard. Let me think. I see we definitely have some nice saves coming in.
Yeah.
Caleb getting a few of those clutches there.
I mean, Caleb safe, snoozing, everybody really
Yeah.
doing their part on defense. And
Yes.
when we see those slip-ups, right, that's where Virginia Wesleyans start to keep on increasing their goals. But at the same time, we also want to see Point Park kind of get their groove on.
Yeah.
Just get the offense kind of moving.
Yeah, and it definitely seems like we've gotten into the groove, or we're what's the word, we're locked in basically.
Absolutely.
It seems after our little mishaps from the first 2 games, which they weren't really mishaps. It's just got to get into the flow, and now we're in the flow.
That's not a
And,
missap.
Yeah, we just scored right there.
I mean, emptying that one more time, snoozing, taking this one all the way down for the
Ooh,
ride, and
sweet.
yeah, he doesn't miss those. Let's be
No.
real. Point Park, we've missed a few in the past, but that's okay. It's not today.
Yeah, not today. We're doing great today.
Point Park, though, going to have a tall task ahead of them. 9 more minutes of play if they want to take this series. Potentially more if we see an OT, which would not be crazy given these 2 teams. Caleb, though, just a little bit off on the accuracy for that shot. Could have went down. Instead goes to the right. So unfortunate angle for them. Spells just that 1-0 for Point Park at the moment.
Yes. Hopefully we can clutch this one.
What player do you want to see maybe step up or, just stay consistent? Or what's your key player you've kind of been looking at?
I've kind of been watching Caleb mostly. He seems to be holding out pretty strong. I mean, he is our team leader.
It's true.
Yes. And he's been holding pretty strong. Safe is too, I would say. A few saves in from there. And we are. Ooh,
I mean,
safe knocked it out. Oh, there
everyone's
we
got to
go.
do their part.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can see it in those final few moments, especially in that last play.
Yes, very, very intense.
Ooh, almost a bit of an
We were
overall.
counting down out there, like
The seconds,
10,
yeah.
9, 8. Yeah, we were definitely counting down.
I don't know if you know this, but have you ever seen a Rocket League event come happen?
No, actually.
They will actually have the whole crowd chanting that 10, 9, 8
Wow,
all the
that's
way to
pretty
the end
cool.
because you really do have
so
nail-biting
intense.
scenarios.
Yeah.
I mean, one goal separating a team from getting first versus second. I mean, $1 million versus
Yes.
$500,000. It really is a big deal. And for Point Park, let's pretend that this is a $1 million game for them because it very well may be. This
Yeah.
might be for the 1 seed in playoffs.
Yeah. This game might be our determining factor later down the line.
And of course, it sets the tone for the season, right?
Definitely, definitely.
So how do you think they take this serious? Let's say they fall short, they win this game, and then they lose it in the final game. What do you think that does to their mental?
It definitely will like bring them down just a little bit because you're like, oh, we did so good here, but then what happened? We fell. We got like these last 2 games. I think it will definitely like bring morale down a little bit. Again, it's the first game of the season. Who knows? We could win the next however many games we have after this.
It's like a compliment sandwich.
Yeah.
This game, right? Because
Yeah.
you can say, okay, well, guys, we didn't get swept and we at least won 2 games, so that's your compliment. 2 is we lost the first game and we didn't bring it back, so there's the maybe sad part of the sandwich.
Yeah.
And then you add the other bun, which is, but hey, it's only the first game.
Yeah.
We beat these guys before. We might have not done it today, but
And we
instead,
just scored
Snoozin
another.
is trying to make that compliment sandwich just all bun. No meat, no bad meat, all greatness.
Yep. Like a grilled cheese. Never get enough of it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I want grilled cheese now. Yeah.
You're gonna have to be careful with that food talk. I'm gonna start making food puns if you don't. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. No, I think we should. All right, here we go.
Nice little coordination off the kickoff.
Yes,
you see Caleb
definitely.
going up and then snoozing up the wall as well. Unfortunately, though, just didn't have enough boost or maybe not a great enough read on the ball, so not gonna get that first shot off, but still at least kind of trekking with things. Let's see, Caleb going for the bump. Almost gets the Sharkus out of the lane, which is really, really important because, again, we talked about getting that defender out who's just sitting in the net. Right?
Yes.
We don't want them to just get an easy
We don't
little
want the camp.
save, but double tap. Actually, maybe a dunk off the player and the save. Either way, Virginia Wesleyan waking up once more.
Yeah. Hopefully we can keep this a 2-1 score and get another point on our side.
Well, that wouldn't be keeping it a 2-1 score, would it?
Oh yeah, true. It'd be what, 2-2 then? Yeah.
Well, do you want 3-1 or do you want 2-1? I mean, of course we always want more goals.
I think 3-1 would be nice.
But here's the thing, we talked about last game, playing not to lose versus playing to extend your lead.
Yes.
Which do you think is the wiser decision here with 1 minute left?
I think playing not to lose because that means we go into a 5th round.
You know, I'll say the playing not to lose or the winning. Either one is great.
Yes.
You know which one's the best? Whichever one works for Point Park.
Yes.
That's what we need to see them
Whatever
do.
one gets us the victory.
Oh, very close. That one, the shot just off the right post. The MVP
30
strikes again.
seconds.
And this one, gonna be a little risky. Safe, no boost here. Just gonna have to do whatever they can with the ball. Maybe
Yeah.
stall with time, but no. Caleb off the ceiling. This one will drop for Braided Axe. Anybody home? Nope. Just instead of 50 from Snoozin, I believe that is. Back to
Yes.
the other side of the score board and
Caleb.
field. Anybody
10.
home?
9. Oh, come on, safe. Maybe.
This
Nah.
is close. You need to have that counterattack. Virginia Wesleyan, where is it?
1.
The ball.
is-
Hey, one for the
Whoa,
road.
last minute score. 3-1.
Playing not to lose and getting the 3-1.
Woo!
You'll take both options.
Yes.
It's both.
Double patty.
Double bun?
Yes.
Double bun.
Double bun.
Hey, we're happy for that.
It's like
Point
a Big
Park.
Mac, it's bun, bun, bun. Triple bun.
You know what?
Yeah.
Sure, triple bun. That's what
Yeah.
they called the new Bison exchange thing, right? That's what they call
Oh, yeah.
it. Triple bun instead.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us. We're going to
Of
rotate
course.
on out once more.
It was very fun.
We'll hope to
And-
see you around doing whatever you do.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, let's rotate.
One more voice coming on through. You might have known him as Godzilla, but instead it's the Tank Killer. Here we go. One
Yep.
more time. Who is it?
It's Tangzilla back again. Honestly, it's going exactly how I expected it. They started out slow, but they're starting to make that comeback.
It's true. You did call it. I'm not going to lie. You did call it. But now you got to get your prediction all the way to the end.
I think they got it. I think they're going all the way. I was out there just a minute ago. I saw the energy
Yeah,
they
how was
had.
it?
They quite literally have had quite a crazy comeback in their morale. At first, it was slow. They were losing it. But, you know, Caleb being the leader he is helped get them back on pace. The coach is out there helping them. They're getting back out there, and they're actually putting on a game.
I'm excited to see it. I mean, obviously, we have one more game left to go. We've got through all 5, which is great because we got to see all the new voices coming through, get some reps. But now, let's talk about the glory of what happens if either team wins this game. Potential 1 seed secured if you want to talk about these teams being the best 2 teams. And Virginia Wesleyan, this would knock them down a peg for sure. I mean, getting reverse swept in the first week, this is a very tough blow if this does end up landing.
Yeah, it could be game shaking. It could change everything. It's one of the most important games of the year. It's to set up your season, and if you can't get away with it, if you can't get out there and win, it's gonna hurt.
Same thing could be said for Point Park, though, right?
Yeah,
All this effort and-
if they just fall short, it could be the same exact thing. It quite literally comes down to this game.
I mean, we talk about playoff seedings, favorites, you know, things that we kind of speculate to see, but at the end of the day, it's who comes down and actually does the work on the field, who does it in the moment. And this is that very moment that we need to see them succeed, either team for that sake. 4 minutes on the clock, scoreless so far. But of course, the first person to open this one up takes the advantage in the 5th and final game of the series today.
Yep, we're going to find out who's going to pull it off, and I think it's going to be a big one.
I mean, you said Virginia Wesleyan scored first. Do you think they score first here in this game and then Point Park come back? Little, like, homage to the series? Or do you think Point Park come out strong?
I think there's a good chance that Point Park's just going to come out strong here and score right out the gate. I think they're getting aggressive. They're starting to get out of that defensive mindset and being more aggressive in the game.
Well, if you're right, remind me to put you on the Valorant broadcast for Friday so that you can curse us in the right direction or bless us. You know, just go predict us to get a 13-0. I'm happy with that. But yeah, Caleb here on the side wall looking for that offense. Lasharkus has to force out with that jump. But again, remember, not baiting out that defender means Caleb will have to come on back. Third man back means you need the shot. Double tap just a bit wide and where are those rotations? Make sure you get back and you have the boost. There's the first touch, but braided axe over to Lasharkus. This one nicely knocked away by Snoozin. 1 more minute down and still no goals to be shown.
Yeah, it's been one. Oh, there it is.
Yet.
There it is. The first score. I guess it was not Point Park first.
Well, does that change how you see things?
I still think Point Park can pull it out. I think they're going to get it.
All right, I'm
We'll
going to knock
find
on
out.
this wooden shaky table in front of me. Wait, did they fix the table? Wait, it is kind of fixed a little bit. There used to be a very big thing that this table just did not, like, be stable at all, which is kind of funny considering how Point Park was always so momentum-based. You know, we related back to the table. But now, instead, they look a little bit more stable, and you know, they were able to pull it back 2 more games, and Snoozin, though, needs to bring it back to a 1-1 tie if they want to have a shot at that glory, at the victory in this series. It's just going to be easier said than done. Popped up into the middle of the air. Yeehaw, sauce up. And the ball goes down, but that's Snoozin to knock the ball away and make sure no more danger will be had except for safe.
Yep, we're gonna see how it goes. They're trying to move the ball. That's what they're trying to do.
Preferably in the, you know, offensive direction. It really is tough to kind of get these things going, especially, you know, once you get knocked down a peg in terms of the first goal, but I just want to see them go for these shots. Even, honestly, if they lose 1-0, I'm not going to be mad. As long as they keep on showing the offense and they're getting those offensive chances. If they're pinned in their defensive end, like we kind of said with Kago, it's going to be that domino effect.
Yeah, it really is. It really matters that they need to get out there and they need to play offense. The only way to win is to score, so they need to get out there and score.
First player goes on through. Caleb now, the second player. Where Snoozin. This is a nice little touch, but where is the shot? And unfortunately, nowhere in sight. Point Park definitely starting to feel the pressure. You can tell it's kind of similar to those Game 1 vibes, and it's not because of the similar voice that's joining me in the booth, although that may be a certain cause to some similar vibes. Instead, Point Park needs the shot to go
There it
in, and
is.
it does. Tie game, folks. We got we were 1 second away from getting a 1-1-1-1-1 scoreboard.
Yeah, it was a second away, but either way, Caleb with the important score to put us on game point. This is going to be a close one.
I feel like this is why, this is the clip in my head. That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! And he very well may be if they can hold on, because that is a tough goal to get. And it's one of those things where even if it seems easy, if it's trickling on through, you need to get them all going in Clash. That Caleb, though, just denied. 1 minute remaining. Where's that pass? It's floating. It's going. But still nobody there to receive it. There's one more shot. This one off the back wall. Rotation. Where is it? And a nice pre-jump there by Yeehaw Sauce. If that one gets over them, you're seeing Point Park maybe go up 2-1, but instead, nope, just back down. No way, right? No way does Game 5 go to overtime. I mean, that would be sickening. That one golden goal just establishes the winner of this series. It could be crazy to see that go the way.
It could really be crazy, but it might not happen. 22 seconds left, and they have just scored.
Well, you saw the toilet paper kind of fly all over there with the goal explosion, and you might want to clean up the act if I were you, Point Park, because you got 22 more seconds to come on back, not only to tie this, but I guess potentially to take a lead and take this game home. What's your kickoff strat? What are you doing to get yourself that advantage? It's a fake combined with a demo. This is all on snoozing, and luckily they make do, but no second touch means there's going to be one last effort here, and they're going to have to make it done. This is the same fashion that Point Park either won or lost in the first series they met up last year. The fake attempt at a comeback could be real. It's all down to safe. The shot just doesn't get enough elevation, and Virginia Wesleyan will take it 3-2. A very, very close margin.
That was a very close game. It could have came down to either side, but Virginia just wanted it more.
Are we allowed to look at the players here? Can we look at the player cam, see their vibes and what's going on here?
Yeah, they look
tough.
distraught.
It's tough. I mean, again, we're going to talk about it to them. We're going to say nice effort. The coach and really Caleb and the rest of the team, during practices, they're going to say, hey, guys, that was a good showing. We know we can beat these guys. We know we can. Now it's just about doing it on the day. And so I think as much as you can see some frowns here and maybe some smugness, they're going to take it home. We know they're going to come out stronger next time, and, well, they've got it in them, right?
What might just happen, and this is just a prediction.
Okay.
This might lead to the finals again.
Ooh.
And it could happen again. History might just be about to repeat itself.
I mean, that would be a storyline for the ages, right? A 2-2 fake comeback reverse sweep last season. Point Park wins the grand finals. Same thing happens to begin this season. And now, maybe, just maybe, the cards will align.
Well, you never know. It could just about happen. That's the best part about this. You never know what's going to happen.
So with that being said, it looks like we are going to be done for the day in terms of all of our gameplay. There's no gold after green game. It's just one Rocket League team for you. So make sure you stick around later in the week to watch our Valorant broadcast. That's right, I'll be playing. You'll probably be yapping. Let's be real. Yep, you got to get ready for that. And yeah, I mean, the viewers, hopefully you'll be watching as well. So make sure to drop a follow on the stream. Make sure to, go say hi to your favorite players in chat. Wish them a good effort. And hopefully we'll see them kind of jump up in the standings towards next week. For now, that's going to be all. My name is Ari Cast here with Tankzilla. We've been your casters. D's been on the production. We've had all these production people as well in the background, so give a shout out to them. And without further ado, well, I got nothing else to say. So we're going to say peace out. Thank you all for coming, and good night.
you.